God only made me one way. That's to be Jalen Hurts. I'm powerful, tough, a relentless competitor. The journey far from over. I'm obsessed with this game. Enough is never enough.
Jalen Hurts, what a run! Touchdown!
It's about taking it to another level. The only direction is to rise.
Makes the catch! It was perfect.
Everybody in their opinions, they don't deposit at the bank.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio. Harry Douglas in for Key and Jay today, and we are joined by Coach Rex Ryan. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Max.
Good morning. Listen, Jalen Hurts, I got to give it to Howie Roseman. He took him in the second round when he had Wentz, because you could see Wentz was going backwards. Oh, it's just because Wentz might get hurt. You don't take a quarterback in the second round after you give a guy $100 million unless you start to worry. Takes him in the second round, builds around him, makes him the guy, brings in Minshew, but that's the backup. Jalen Hurts is a starter. There's no quarterback controversy. Puts piece by piece around him, and then the finishing touch. Now we're going to get him A.J. Brown. We're going to get him the number one. Let's see what he can do. And I keep saying my big fear with him was he's everything I like, except he's not seeing the middle of the field. And week one, he didn't see it. I was like, I don't know about this guy. Let's see it. By that, it took him 1 week with A.J. Brown to get over that. He has been a complete quarterback since then. Coach, we've been talking about it. This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max coming to you live from the Seaport, brought to you by Grey Goose. We've been talking about it this morning. Harry believes Jaylen Brown is the MVP of the league so far. He is now favored. Who did I say?
Jalen Brown.
Jalen
Hurts.
Don't you dare
because I said A.J.
mess
Brown.
up the MVP of the National Football League's name again, Max Kellerman.
Although it does bring up the point. He got his ace receiver.
Yeah.
He's great. Every Tua gets his. He's great. You take away Devontae from Rodgers. He doesn't look the same. You know who looks the same? Patrick Mahomes. I know he's got Kelsey, but he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. I say Mahomes is the MVP. Harry Douglas says Jalen Hurts is the MVP. Who's the MVP?
Jalen Hurts. And the reason I say Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the league is his teams. They have the best record in all of football. I have never, ever seen a quarterback make the strides that Jalen Hurts has made. I remember when he came out. Look, I was killing every one of these. I would get, hey, Josh Allen's going to be the man. Baker Mayfield's overrated. All these type of things. I wasn't wrong on my initial beliefs about these quarterbacks, except this guy. I was wrong on Jalen Hurts because I questioned whether he had the NFL skill set to be a starting quarterback. I knew he'd play, but I never knew if he actually had the starting skill set. I never thought he was accurate enough throwing the football.
Well, he wasn't back then, Coach.
No, but he wasn't. And the thing is, and I love where people say, well, you can't improve accuracy on a quarterback. The hell you can't. Case in point, Jalen Hurts. But the strides he's made are unbelievable. I don't like when you're talking about the Eagles and how committed they were to Jalen Hurts. So true. They did put the pieces around him. They wanted to find out, is he really the guy? Well, guess what? He answered that one. Yes, he is. And Patrick Mahomes, I get it. He's maybe the greatest talent that I've ever seen play the position. But this year, Jalen Hurts deserves this award.
And I'll tell you, one of the greatest things about, Sundays when we're able to watch games together and, talk amongst each other, me, you, and RC was able to talk yesterday, man, is like when Jalen Hurts in this offense, right, when they get into a 2nd and 17, and you've seen yesterday, they had a 2nd and 20.
Yeah.
The offense, Jalen Hurts never wavers. They believe that much, number one, in their quarterback. They believe that much in their offense that they're going to overcome that adversity at any given time. What do? Hit A.J. Brown for a slant for 19 yards. Now it's 3rd and 1. They convert to 3rd and 1. Now they're moving on, going down for a touchdown. He has never wavered. I haven't seen him have a bad game this year yet. The game they lost against the Washington Commanders, the Commanders played keep away, but the negative plays that the Eagles had weren't his fault. He played a hell of a game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Harry's point, which I think is a good, very strong, I think your strongest point actually, Harry, is that Hurts has been totally consistent. No bad games, right?
Right.
And you're asked to steer the ship. That's what he's doing. You need it on the ground. You need it through the air, whatever you need. And he's a leader and all that. This is why I say Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. And by the way, I think it's clear cut. Look at the rosters of these teams. Front to back in the preseason, it was the Bills in the AFC, the Eagles in the NFC. What are the Eagles missing? Howie Roseman put a juggernaut together, right? And as good as Hurts has been, Patrick Mahomes is consistently overcoming the play of the defense. Why does he have more interceptions than he usually has this year? He's got to take certain chances that a guy like Jalen Hurts does not have to take. And yet his QBR, and the funny thing about putting interceptions up here is QBR takes all that into consideration. His QBR is almost like 8 points higher than Jalen Hurts for a reason. He makes great decisions in spite of the interceptions. He makes impossible plays that no one else probably in the history of football would make. Like, he's carrying this team.
Maybe my eyes are confusing me. Did I look like Jalen Hurts was better this year, according to that chart? Can y'all put that chart back up? Can y'all put that chart back up for me? I'm going to make sure my eyes aren't deceiving me.
So, pass TDs, he's first,
all right.
Mahomes. Yards per attempt, he's second. QBR, which takes into account the interceptions. Not only that, but the leverage, the moment in the game that it happened, all that. He's 28th.
Yeah.
But QBR is first. He's first.
Yeah, how about putting some rushing touchdowns up there? How about
But he
doing
can run.
those
He can
type
run
of
them in
things?
though.
Rex Ryan coming here today is the best thing that happened because what I tried to explain to him, I understand Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal, but what you can't take away from Jalen Hurts is his ability to run the football, and the defense has to account for him in the run game.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
That's a whole other dimension of the game.
Yeah, this guy has tailback skills. It's crazy. Like, how many quarterbacks actually have legitimate tailback skills? He does. And, what's he thrown? Over 20 touchdowns, and he's run for over 10 touchdowns. How many times that happened in NFL history? I'm not sure, but not very often. And so, to me, that's a stat we don't put on there. That doesn't affect your QBR rating. Doesn't affect all that. You know what it does affect?
I think it does actually, but I might be wrong
Maybe.
about that. Yeah.
But it's it's your win total. That's what it affects.
But Mahomes on an inferior roster has 3 losses.
See,
It's hard to say inferior roster
thank you,
right
Rex,
now.
because he keeps saying this.
You want to go
the Chiefs
man
don't have
for
a
man
terrible
with the
roster.
Eagles? Look top to bottom
Well,
on the
I
Eagles.
can
Where are
say
they?
that.
I
weak?
think first off, both these teams have great offensive lines.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't it funny?
Say it one
how-
more time, though, Rex. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Both these teams have great offensive lines. It's
Check.
the truth.
Check.
All right. They have Travis Kelce over here is pretty good.
Check.
And then these other receivers, everybody told me they don't need Tyreek Hill.
But that's because they have
Check.
Mahomes.
Well, they do have to. Exactly right.
But
they
that's
have
my
speed. They have all that stuff.
My point is when you take, and I get that Kelsey's the guy who keeps the chains moving, right? But when you take the wideout, the number one wideout away from the quarterback, no matter who it is, Tom Brady, without Godwin, Evans, boy, that doesn't look the same. Aaron Rodgers without Devontae, that's ugly. You give Tyreek to Tua, he's a new man.
Right.
You give A.J. Brown to, you know who's immune to that? Patrick Mahomes. You take Tyreek Hill away, having the greatest receiver season ever. The dude's leading the league in QBR by 10 points. And his team is 10-3, coach. This is the year of Josh Allen. This is the year of Lamar Jackson. This is the year of Justin Herbert. And meantime, Mahomes is sitting there on 10 wins.
Yeah, so what you're trying to say, Max, let me see if I'm getting this right. Patrick Mahomes basically is Michael Jordan. You can give him the award every single year. And we're trying to give it to Charles Barkley.
Yes!
Is that what you're trying to say here? I'm trying to figure it out and things like that. But in my opinion, today's game, it's more than just throwing the football, how you do it. It's the end results. In today's game, you want those dual run pass guys. I think Jalen Hurts has been absolutely over the top.
It's funny because he and Josh Allen, I said the Eagles and the Bills, a lot of similarities. Guys with raw tools. Let's see if it can develop, right?
Yeah.
And the GMs both put them in situations, allowed them to grow, allowed them to learn, and then eventually brought in that top Diggs and A.J. Brown for Hurts. And in both cases, they became MVP, phenomenal level players.
Right.
But Hurts is actually doing more winning than Josh Allen right now.
Well, he is, but I'm going to say this. Their offense, they're way better than the Bills' offense. To me, there's no creativity in that offense,
And they don't run the football.
If they don't, look, Josh Allen, you could put him probably in these other teams, and he would be the guy who would win this award. But right now, no creativity whatsoever in that Buffalo offense. That's why it's taken Josh out of this MVP question. And my only concern for Buffalo coming into the season was how much they were going to miss Brian Daboll. They're missing him right now.
I mean, the Giants have no talent on the team other than Saquon Barkley. They're 7-5-1. How does this happen, right? Like Daboll
with a 26 rated defense and a 22nd rated offense, coaching matters still.
Coaching matters. Rex Ryan, ESPN NFL analyst, Super Bowl 35 champion. Thank you, Coach. Jalen Hurts, first quarterback in NFL history to run for double-digit touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. We want you to weigh in. Who you got for MVP, Hurts or Mahomes? Plus, Harry Douglas is going to explain